Great afternoon. Great afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Happy Winning Wednesday. Happy Wealthy Wednesday. You are tuned into the Legacy Lab, and I am your host, Stephanie Miller Henderson. I am super excited and grateful and elated to have you join in, listen in, watch, however you are tuning into this podcast at this time. You can definitely catch the Legacy Lab every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time via IntellectualRadio.com. You can hear the podcast via YouTube at Intellectual Radio's YouTube channel. Go and subscribe. And while you're there on YouTube, go and subscribe to Stephanie Miller Henderson at the Black Legacy Lab, where you will get all of your exclusive content around wealth building and legacy building in the Black community. I am super excited. We're in the month of June. We're in a new month, new mindset, maybe the same mindset for some. I don't know. Um, Definitely new blessings. Um, but for me, it's the same mission. I am bringing the masses free, uncut information around ways that you can build wealth, that you can obtain financial freedom, that you can help not just your family, but your community to grow. I am located in Chicago, Illinois. But if you are tuning in via YouTube, if you are tuning in via Facebook, definitely comment and let me know where you are tuning in from. I am super excited because today I'm going to have two guests here with me as we kind of divulge this wealth building movement. And, I am a firm believer that early is on time is late. And it looks like I have my guest waiting. But before she jumps on, let me just share that June is Men's Health Month. And so I really want you to be on the lookout for future shows this month that will feature awesome men who are doing some awesome things in their community, building a legacy of ownership, building a legacy of service, not just, of course, within their family, but service within their church community, service within their educational community. So be on the lookout. In essence of Men's Health Month, just as it was in May with Mental Health Awareness Month, I want to focus on the intersectionality of money and health as it relates to Black men. So don't miss it. Don't miss it. You want to make sure you're tuned in. We know how important financial wellness is to our mental health. So this is no different. And so today I want to highlight a company that is Black owned. It's a Black owned company, um, owned by a man of excellence from Baltimore by the name of Mr. Donald Bradley. Um, Mr. Bradley started Planet Marketing about 10 years ago. He started the company in 2015 with his own money. Mr. Bradley is a documented multimillionaire in the travel industry. And so I love the story that Mr. Bradley, that I've heard him share in person, because it lets me know that this company that he started is a mission for him. He mentioned that, he was told to start this company where ordinary people can have access or the ability to not only make extraordinary income, but to have and live an extraordinary lifestyle. And we all know, again, that our lifestyle, the money that we have, it definitely weighs on our health, not just our mental health, but our physical health. And so while we're focusing on Mental Health Month, I wanted to make sure before I bring up my guest, my first guest, that I highlight the man of the hour. Because if it was not for him, then these women would not be able to be positioned in this wealth building business. And so without further ado, I am going to bring my first guest. Great afternoon. Great afternoon. Do I have Tamika Boyd with us?
Yes, ma'am, you do. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just share something briefly about Tamika Boyd. Tamika Boyd is actually in the top 2% of this wealth building business that I mentioned to you that is founded by Mr. Donald Bradley. She resides in Chesapeake, Virginia. Tamika Boyd is a senior operations manager by day, and she works her Planet Marketing business on a part time basis. Tamika is a single mother of a teenager, and he keeps her busy with his football schedule. But I love this about Tamika. She knows all about the facts of this business, and she's always ready to help people get to the money. And if you've been listening to the Legacy Lab for the past few weeks, we're on episode 13 today, then you know that this show is all about ways that we can get to the money. So, Tamika, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to join me. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much for the invite. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You are so welcome. So, Tamika, why don't you share a little bit about yourself, your journey, your personal, your professional journey, as a professional, as a single mom, and how did you come across this Planet Marketing business? And then why did you start this Planet Marketing business?
Okay, so a little bit about me. As you mentioned, I am a single mother residing here in Chesapeake, Virginia. I do have a corporate job. I do work the typical, 9 to 5 hours, but I realize I'm doing all this work for somebody else. So it's time for me to do some work for myself as well. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. I have other businesses, but I was always looking for another opportunity that allowed me to, set my own terms. So with this business, I was able to just do exactly that. One of my friends, we've been friends over 20 years. I just kept seeing her post that she was on a flight somewhere. I'm like, okay, where's she going? How did she get there? So I reached out to her, asked some questions like, okay, next trip I want to go. She was like, even better. How about I bring you to a meeting and then I could tell you how I did this, which to me was like eye opening. I realized that I travel a lot. I want my son to see the world. We're outside as much as we possibly can, but why not do it in a way and bring some money into my household? Why not do it and also help other people get free? Here lately, I'm in corporate America. So I see the turnover rate and people losing their jobs. I'm also in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. So we have the major ports here and shipyards. So on the news just last week, 500 people lost their jobs. So now it's like, okay, wait a minute. Something's going on. It's time for you to find another source of income, which is where I've always been within my lifestyle and my career. So to me, this opportunity just gives us that opportunity to just share with other people, help them bring what they need into their household, allow them to just be able to set their own terms financially of how they want to live and how they choose to live their life. None of us know, how our careers are going to pan out, when our last day on our jobs or our careers are. So you have to find that second source of income. You have to find a way to just make something work for you where you're not stressed and you're still moving to your own beat. And this business gives you that opportunity. So I'm so thankful I was introduced to it. So not only do I travel, but I'm also able to set my own terms. I'm now having a plan B that's going to make just as much as my plan A. So if that day come where I'm in that situation where I don't have a job tomorrow, I'm not stressed about it because I know financially I'm going to be fine because of my business.
Whew. Tamika, that is so, so good. You spoke about being in corporate America and the job loss that you're seeing in your city alone. I was over the weekend. I read a post, and it led me to several posts about a very well known program for young adults that's closing, and it's called Job Corps. And I was saddened by that. I was saddened by that for one because I have a sibling that went through that program. For two, it's about 60,000 young adults. And so it's not just in the state of Illinois, it's all over the United States. And they received some news that they were supposed to close by June 30th. But then on Friday, they received news that they had to close by Monday. So from Friday to Monday, thousands of young adults, some of them who can't go back to their families for whatever situation, for whatever reason, um, no longer had this program that provides housing for them, meals, training, job training, all the things, right? And so I was so grieved by that. So much so that I prayed. I went into prayer because when people, and you said something, you talked about the job loss and how you have a plan B that's going to pay you more than your plan A. And I don't want people to miss that. I don't want people to miss that. You're saying that your job security is a myth, that we've been taught that our jobs are secure, but it's really not. And so, can you talk a little bit about how is your plan B that you work on less than a part-time basis going to outweigh your plan A?
And so with that, my plan B allows me to not just help me and my family, I'm able to help other families secure their legacy as well. So yes, I work this on a part-time basis. So after 9 to 5, I'm actually online working this business every day because I know what I can gain from it. With this business, I'm able to network. I have a culture and community behind me that's going to push me versus what you see in your normal corporate America. Is every man for themselves because everybody's trying to get to that next promotion. But within this community, guys, we work together. We are a team. We are passionate to make sure each of us grow together at all times. So that's why I know my plan B is going to make more than my plan A because it's a people business. It's all about relationship building. You treat people how you want to be treated. You look out for others. Everybody's going to look out for you. And that's exactly how our culture is set up. Is each one teach one. We all are in this together. We're not one man left behind. If we learn it, we work together to do it. If some person is better in one aspect, then somebody in your team, fine. Buy your services. So if you're better at one task and I'm better at maybe organizing, then we work together, we make it happen, and when we all eat and we all grow. And that's how this business is going to supersede my plan A because when you're in corporate America, you're just trying to make sure you look good, you get that promotion. And guys, in this business that we work at, I work part-time, my promotions is based off me, my work ethic, what I do. I set my own terms of when I get a promotion, when I get a raise. Guys, this is unmatched. The compensation plan is crazy. We make money, we get paid on a weekly basis. So if I know I need to make a certain amount of money, I make sure I do what I need to do to get that into my household so we do not miss any beats around here.
Oof. I'm so excited. Oh my. That's powerful. That is so powerful. You are saying so much, and I'm gonna point out one more thing that I heard.
Mm-hmm.
You said that we're able to make money together. And I like to point out the power behind the information that you're sharing because we live in a society where we're so used to people making money off of us or making money from the work or the services that we're rendering. So typically when you're talking to somebody about a wealth building opportunity, a wealth building initiative, they're skeptical because they're not used to people approaching them and wanting to make money together. And so I need people to make sure you lean in because this is all what the Legacy Lab is all about. It's all about being able to educate people on, what are you building today that's going to sustain and outweigh when you're no longer here tomorrow, right? Like how, what is it that you're leaving behind besides your good morals and your good values and your nice suits and your nice shoes? What are we leaving for the next generation and the generation thereafter? And so it sounds like what you're talking about is a legacy business. Because eventually you'll be able to leave your plan A and eventually your money will in a sense outgrow or outrun you. And is that what I'm hearing?
That's exactly what you're hearing.
Okay. I wanted to make sure. Well, look, Tamika, is there anything else that you want to share or leave with the people before you exit and we get our next guest on?
Yes, ma'am. What I want to say is, guys, if for any reason you feel like you just don't, you're not bringing in enough. You are as awesome. You're me. please contact us. Please contact me, contact Stephanie. Give us so that way we can show you that you're not alone in this. We can help you bring in what you need to sustain your household so you're not stressed out. You're not feeling like you're missing out on things because you can't travel like you wanted to, or you can't do the things for your kids. Because I know as a single mom, it's hard sometimes to take away from your household because you know the bills that you got to pay because your child needs things. They outgrow their clothes, they outgrow their shoes. Guys, this business has opened up so many doors for me that I'm not missing a beat. My child doesn't want or need for anything. All of our needs are met, and we can help you do the same thing. So just reach out. We got your back. And like I said, you are not alone in it.
That is phenomenal. Thank you so much, Tamika, for joining me. I appreciate you. Have an amazing
Thank you for
day.
having me. You too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, all right, all right. My, was that powerful? And we are not done, okay? I'm just all smiles because I've had guests on, right? But I love when people can l- give you something to take away, something to go look at, something to go read about, something to kind of ponder. And so this next guest is no different, and I'm going to welcome this next guest on. Great afternoon, great afternoon. Is this Miss Ebony Cuffy?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Great afternoon. Great afternoon. Let me let the listeners know a little bit about you, and then of course you can share anything that I may have left out. But Ebony, like our previous guest, is also in the top 2% of this wealth building business. She is well on her way to having a team of almost 100 people across the globe as a director in training. She resides in Portsmouth, Virginia. Shout out to Virginia because both of these ladies are from Virginia. So shout out to Virginia. You know, I love me some Chicago. Okay. Chicago, Illinois. But shout out to Virginia. Ebony is a mom of three and she is a new grandma. She may say grandma. I don't know. It may be, everybody got their granny, grandma nicknames. So I don't know. But I think Ebony is a grandma. Ebony also works this business on less than a part-time basis as she operates an early childhood educator business. She's running a successful business in that field. So for people, who feel like they're too busy to build wealth, that's not it. This and Ebony may touch on that a little bit, but Ebony is passionate about helping people change their lives for the better. And I'm gonna tell you a fun fact that I know about Ebony because she um is what I call my sister in success. She loves to line dance, y'all. She is like the line dancing queen. So if we ever want to learn a new line dance, we just know we can ask Ebony. So she
Mm-hmm,
also loves
mm-hmm.
to have fun. And so Ebony, welcome to the Legacy Lab. How are you?
I am well. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I am wonderful. I am well. I am all things great. I can't complain.
Yes.
Ebony, is it anything else that you would like to share with the people? Let me throw it to you this way. Let the people know who you are, a little bit about you personally, your professional journey, and
Mm-hmm.
why you decided to start a business within Planet Marketing.
Yes, ma'am, I will. So, hello, everyone. Just like Stephanie mentioned, my name is Ebony Cuffy. Yes, I am a new grandma. I'm a child care owner. I'm a child care educator. I also have a travel business. I'm a travel business owner, and I'm a successful business coach as well. So just like my story is not like, it's just like everybody else, nothing different. I work long hours, we sacrifice time and feeling like there is more to life than just working because we wear many hats. I know, such as myself, I'm a mom, a new grandma, I'm a daughter, a sister, a mentor, a provider. And if you're in the childcare field or early education, you know that you wear multiple hats. You are a problem solver, you a nurse, you are a doctor. I mean, we're everything. But deep down, I knew that I was created to do something, something so much bigger.
So that's why I built my own child care. I built it from the ground up, committed to providing quality care for kids, that felt like home and education. I love to prepare them and teach them lifestyle skills that can help them in the world, ahead. So being able to build my childcare business, it actually taught me the power of ownership. It gave me leadership, and it also, taught me, helped me walk in my purpose a whole lot more. And it helped me with the financial freedom. But I wanted more than just a paycheck, right? I still wanted that time freedom. So that's when I said yes to become a travel business owner, and I partnered with my sponsor, Calivia Frost, with Planet Marketing, which I call adult recess. If anybody's on the line and work in the early childhood field, we know kids love their recess time. Why they love that recess time? Because they get to go outside, they get to be them, and if you in the school setting, kids meet with other kids and they just play, they talk to complete strangers, they are just being themselves. And I like to refer to my travel business as adult recess because that's what I do. I love to go out. I love my vacations. Like they say, we like to have mat ties in our hand while having some toes in our sand. But not only that, I saw an opportunity to earn residual income to help others on their, be their own boss, number one, and travel the world and do the same thing and while having fun. And when I tell you stuff, sis, I have not looked back since, okay? So now I'm teaching others how to do the same thing. I'm helping educators. I'm helping moms. I'm helping corporate career women unlock that time freedom that we need. I'm helping them elevate their income and reclaim their lives through entrepreneurship. Because listen, it's nothing like earning income on your own time and just living on your terms. When I say the best feeling ever, the best feeling ever. And this journey also, it made me a glamour in the process, yes, but it also made me a coach. And I'm also a visionary. And most importantly, it's just an example of what's possible when you bet on yourself, especially, in this opportunity. So whether if I'm running my childcare business or coaching my team, I just know I'm doing it all for one goal in mind, and that's to build a legacy and to help others do the same because we need to create generational wealth. We have to think about the next generation. And I don't think a lot of people actually think about that because when you are working for these, major corporate companies such as myself, if you have a business, you get that one-time payout. But what else do they get after that? I don't want that for my children. I don't want that for my grandchildren. So I'm setting myself up and setting them up to be completely debt-free. So I hope that answers some of your questions.
No,
So.
that's great. That's great. I'm gonna like the previous guest. I just want to pull out some things that you said that really stood out to me and was really powerful. Because I want to make sure that the listeners understand and have some tangible takeaways when we use the word legacy, because that's the show is the Legacy Lab. And so I
Mm-hmm.
have to make it make sense for the people. I often share, Ebony, that, and I just shared it previously, that legacy, we think, oh, we're leaving, our morals, we're leaving our good last name, we're leaving our, I'm gonna just say church hats, because I know a lot of ladies with some really nice church hats.
Church,
Uh,
yeah.
and so we're leaving all these things, and we think that the things that's legacy. um, but I want you to be real specific. Tell the people just how, like, your Planet Marketing business is a legacy business. What's that legacy
Oh,
component?
oh, absolutely. So just like you said earlier, when you was introducing me, I'm really striving for that legacy because it's nothing like working for something that I can just leave for my kids. Once my business hit, once my team reach 100 active agents, I become a one-star director in this opportunity. And we, not only that, the day that you hit it, they're going to send you over your papers to sign, for your beneficiaries. If anything was to ever happen to you, if anything was to ever happen to me, I can honestly say that whatever income that I make in this business, and now that we earn 10 bags, all of this would be left to my children. Travel is never going to stop. That is the number one thing that people are going to do over this world when we are dead and gone. Travel is still going to be here, whether you're taking it by plane, train, or if you're doing it underwater. May God bless you with that one. But people are moving, and it's never going anywhere. So why not invest into something that's going to be around for the rest of your life that is making $1 trillion in the industry, and to know that my family has a piece of that pie and my babies are going to be set up for life and still going to have a check after I leave, yes, I'm satisfied.
Whew. My. Um, I often share this. You probably have heard this, but as a school counselor, and I'm in the fourth largest school district now. We were the third at one point, but no matter the budget, no matter if it's billions of dollars, I wouldn't get any of that. My family wouldn't even get my salary because
Right.
because what you're saying, Ebony, is once we stop working, they stop paying. So
Absolutely.
a legacy means that you're leaving wealth, you're leaving income to your family, not a one-time insurance payout that you get with your life insurance, but residual income. Residual is resident. It never leaves. It's like shadow money. It's gonna follow you, then it's gonna follow the next person, then it's gonna follow the next person after that. So it is absolutely powerful when we say legacy business. We're in the lab right now. So in the lab, we're cooking up something. Right now, we're talking
Okay.
about what we're cooking up in Planet Marketing. And now there are
Mm-hmm.
other business opportunities out here. What we just want to stress for the people is you need to pick one, but you need to make a decision for your life and for your family's life. You need to make a decision right now, whether it's going to be makeup, or we say lotions, potions. On our end is beaches and oceans, but you need to
Mm-hmm.
make a decision. And I love that you stress that legacy piece, because we're not selfish. We're thinking about our great grandchildren that we'll never even meet. That's profound. um and so, Ebony, I want to just throw it back to you and share. You said 10 bags. Now, it may be some people that don't know what a bag is. I know what a bag is. You're not talking about a grocery bag. You are not talking about a
No, I'm
Birkin
not talking
bag.
about the grocery bags. I'm not talking
Te-
about a Birkin bag. I
right.
mean, you can buy a Birkin bag with it.
Right.
I'm talking about some money bags that make you say cha-ching. I'm talking about some weekly leverage and passive income that you can actually make into this business. They're the type of bags I'm talking about.
Yes, those 10 bags. So Ebony is saying that she gets 10 checks. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I would get 2 checks. My daughter has a job where she gets paid every week. So that's beautiful. But you're talking about 10 pay checks that you get to write. That's not dependent on whether you punched in and out, but that you get to determine your income. Wow.
Absolutely. And I also get to make money with my friends. So that's
Mm,
even better.
mm, mm,
Even better.
mm.
Even better.
My. Ebony, is it anything else? I'm going to, open it up and let you share. Like, what is it that you want the listeners to take away from what it is that you just shared?
I would love to say this. Listen, this movement is bigger than us. And I can't stress that enough. It's bigger than the business itself. This opportunity has created, and it just has created generational wealth. You have all the freedoms. You got the time freedom, the personal freedom, and the financial freedom. It's changing lives, and you finally living on your own terms. But the most important part about this, because people love to say receipts, meaning they need to see some proof. This momentum is documented. It is documented. You can go straight to our website and see the income itself. It's documented. It's over 135,000 of us. And we have access to all of our millionaires. I can't say that for people that work for, major companies. I have access to my millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I would like to say this. it's very important that you connect, not even with me, but even with Stephanie, because your momentum is here and we refuse to let anybody miss it. And I think that's what people missing. When we reaching out to you, it's more than just, business. We reaching out to you because we see something in you. God has connected this for a reason. Things just don't happen, magically. Everything is done by him. So it's important for everyone that Stephanie reached out to or myself, you connect back with us because we're not just offering you an opportunity, y'all. This is actually a mind shift. Okay. You got to be able to shift your mind, especially during these times. And you shift your mind, you shift your lifestyle. Because if you bet on yourself, you're not going to lose. So that's all I wanted to say, Steph.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I heard shift your mind, shift your money. Okay. That's what I heard. Ebony, I appreciate you. Thank you for pouring into the listeners. Thank you for sharing. And I'll see you at the top.
Yes, ma'am. See you at the top, sis. I
All
love
right. Take care.
you. Bye-bye.
Wow. I'm just pumped up to have two individuals who are both directly partnered together to share why they decided to start their Planet Marketing business. Um this business goes back to the basics for me. The basics meaning the things that I shared with all of you on day 1. There are just an innumerable ways to build wealth, right? So you have to select the one that works best for your lifestyle, meaning 98% of us in Planet Marketing work this business on less than a part-time basis. We do that because we're still in our jobs and in our careers, but making full-time income. And so what happens is what many people who may get into a business like this is that at some point your plan B starts to outweigh your plan A. And so you leave your plan A. It's never because you don't love what you do. Um, it's just that you no longer have to punch in and out, which is what we call time freedom. You get to, wake up when you're done sleeping. You get to, if you don't have to ask for permission to take a 1 week vacation or a 2 week vacation, you get to eventually travel when you want to or leave when you want, you have that freedom. And that, my friends, is what wealth building is all about. Is less about the money, it's more about the freedom and the flexibility that you get to live life on your own terms. Whether that is buying a block, right? Something that is, on my goal list, right? Being able to help rebuild or restore or restructure communities that you live in, whether it's giving to a charity, whether it's starting your own scholarship fund, whether it's paying more tithes for your church, maybe you want to build the church annex, whatever it might be for you. Maybe it's putting your bills on auto pay, right? Maybe it's paying off thousands and thousands of dollars of student loan debt. Whatever it might be for you, you choose what you can get you there. So many people often feel like I have to be free of my job, free of my career, and in retirement age to start to build wealth. No, 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 and no. No, that is actually the backwards model. Like by the time you get to retirement age, you want to have already been retired. How about that? So that's the whole point. The point is, I always had a goal to retire before the age of 50. I would not be able to do that simply on my school counselor salary, although it's a great salary. It just doesn't make mathematical sense, right? And so many of us, if we did what we're doing now to build wealth, we would have to work for the rest of our lives, even while we're asleep, and we still wouldn't be wealthy. So this conversation is only for the person that can dream big, the person that has vision, the person that just simply wants more for themselves and their family. That's what this whole platform is about. It's about educating the people that there are opportunities out here. You just may not know about it. Right. And so Planet Marketing is a baby business. It's less than 10 years old, but it's already on the charts for as far as paying out the companies that we are serving as independent contractors for are paying $6 million a month out to the people. And so, though there are many of us that want to own a business because we understand that that is a wealth building vehicle. Um, but it's $3,000 to $5,000 to at minimal to start a brick and mortar business. Many people don't have that income on hand to be able to do that, right? So imagine being able to start a business that can yield you 6, 7 figure income if that's your appetite, but didn't cost anywhere near $3,000 or $5,000. And so when we talk about these types of businesses, we're talking about businesses in a network marketing industry. That industry has created the most millionaires, and they've been able to do that because of that model where you get to make money together as opposed to just someone making money off of you. That's the punching in, punching out. That's trading your time for wages, which will not give you the ability to build wealth. So, again, this is going back to the basics, back to you remembering that the ingredient for building generational wealth is the perfect mixture of passive income, leveraged income, and residual income. If you do not have all three, then you need to you need to reevaluate the opportunity. If you had to invest, let's say, some X amount of dollars, and you have to wait to see if you'll get a return on that investment, that's not the wealth building. It may not be. Let me say that. It depends on your goal, right? If you're able to invest X amount of dollars and just wait and wait and wait and see if it's going to yield you something, then that might be for you. But if you're looking to be able to start something that eventually is going to just build in spite of you, we call it pillow money when you can wake up and you've earned income in your sleep for work you didn't do. And so that is where we are on the Legacy Lab. We're talking about the power of leveraged and residual income. Powerful. And let me again explain why so that you can understand it clearly. Leveraged income is when you are able to get paid from work that you didn't do, which is all about what the network marketing industry does. It's when you can partner and you are getting paid from a company. The person that partnered with you, you get paid from their efforts from the company, right? That's why the compensation plan that the guests were talking about, it's so great and it's so stellar and it's so aggressive and it's the envy of the industry because of the amount of income that you can get within a monthly basis. Now that residual income piece again is synonymous with royalties. It's synonymous with the money that Prince and Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson. I talked about Quincy Jones leaving all of that residual income to leaving income to his children, 80 million each or 70 to 80 million each, but then there is the residual income component built into that for all the work or the one production or the one song or the one act that he did that's going to generate perpetual cash flow. And that's what we're talking about. So residual income, I call it shadow money because it follows you everywhere. Regardless if you get out of bed in the morning and go to work, regardless to if you just want to spend your time on the beach, you're still earning money. And you don't have to wait until you've passed away for you as the business owner get to enjoy the residuals while you're here. And so understand, again, the premise of this show is based on legacy. It's based on building wealth. Now, many of us have not arrived yet, but my oh my, are we well on our way? Because the first thing you have to do is get in position. So, this isn't a microwave thing. And, you definitely want to beware of scams, because there are a lot of scams out here. One thing that Ebony shared is that our income is open to the public. Like, there's an income disclosure statement that's reported to the IRS, that's in our business model, in our business presentation, so that people can understand this is a legitimate 1099 opportunity, right? Um, and you've heard the fields that we're in. So many of us are in our professional fields where we're not, trying to lose licenses and things like that to be a part of a scam. So this is real, and it's real good, and it's building really fast. And so at some point, it'll be a household name, but by then, in the momentum phase of business, that's when the most money is made. So by then, there are going to be several millionaires. I was thinking, I read a post from a company, I think it was Primerica, um, who was saying that, in the 25 years, there were like 19 millionaires. And I'm not, and I may be misquoting, but it was somewhere around the number 19 within the 25 years. And within a 4 to 5 year span, we had three. And so right now, there are five. And so if you think of, and so when you're looking, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And I'm a data person. So when you're looking at the numbers, you think about a business that's under 10 years old that have produced hundreds of six-figure income earners and at least 5 7-figure earners. They're going to be more this year, because in the momentum phase, it's like a train that's moving at swift speed that you cannot stop. And so imagine your income growing and moving at that level. So I want to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you continue to stay plugged in. Keep your ears open to the Legacy Lab, because you will always leave here with knowledge and information that you can use if you choose to. Now, poverty is a choice. It's a choice. And the reason why it's a choice, because of information like this. You got the information. This is free. This is free knowledge, free information. But it's up to you to do something with the information, right? So if you don't change, nothing changes. So that's 78% of people in this country that live paycheck to paycheck wouldn't change unless the people change, right? No one says that you have to live a life of lack, a life of poverty, a life of paycheck to paycheck. So when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll get mad. What we say, get mad or make a decision. And that's all this is. It's about empowering the people to make a decision, especially Black people, because in our communities all across the country, and even places that I've traveled to outside of the United States, you see conditions that are not conducive to growth, conditions that are not conducive to being able to dream, to being able to visualize and envision something bigger, something greater. And so we're shifting that. There's a generation of millennials, a generation of Gen Zers that's ready to shift that, that's ready to grow and put money back into the communities to help build, right? It's not enough for us to get behind legislators, get behind politicians on a variety of bills. These bills are coming down the pipeline so swiftly, I can't keep up. But one thing I will say is we had better make sure our house is in order, right? We had better make sure we're able to take care of our family for generations to come. And then that then trickles into the community that you reside in. And so we're seeing it. People are coming together to buy properties, commercial properties, to buy blocks, right? I said something about a Birkin bag earlier, but we're not buying Birkin bags. We're buying blocks. That's a different mindset, right? We understand that Birkin bag is good for show, but it's not going to bring any dough back into our household or back into our community. And so this is all about being able to invest in something bigger than yourself. So I'm super excited. I'm super grateful to have you have tuned into the Legacy Lab. Come join me next Wednesday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we're going to dig a little bit deeper into Men's Health Month. Thank you so much. I'm super grateful. This is your host, Stephanie Miller Henderson, and I am tuning out. Be blessed, be blessed, be blessed.